Okay. So, first things first here. Before we get into Monster Lovers, a discussion of sorts, I have to be completely and perfectly frank with you. If you cannot tell first by what is behind me or by what I am wearing, this is going to be very, very, very Mass Effect filled. This is... Look, I'm telling you right up front now. I am subtly trying to make you play Mass Effect. Or at least watch the videos of the romances on YouTube. If you're clicking on this, and you're not clicking on this video out of pure curiosity, why have you not played Mass Effect?
You should. Yeah. There was a remake.
Yeah. Legendary Edition just came out. You have no excuse.
It's very pretty. It's so beautiful.
So, if you do not want to be indoctrinated, you better just click off. And that is a Mass Effect pun. If you don't get it, play Mass Effect. So, another thing you can tell, maybe, if you're quick on the uptake here, I have two people here, Jam Blue and Lyrical Villain, who
Hello.
Also both have panels for Portcon this year. And if you didn't watch them or you haven't yet, do that, because I will always shamelessly self-promote them. But they are here to give kind of more of an authentic panel feel, which I feel is necessary for a panel of this nature. So I'm going to be doing this. I'm going to be doing this one take. If I run long, it's my own fault. If I run too short, that's also my fault. But here we are.
Here we are with this lovely array of monsters.
Yep. So, So, Monster Lovers, a discussion of sorts, now begins in earnest. Why don't you watch the clock? Make sure I don't go over an hour.
Aye.
Thank you. Oh, one more thing you all should know. I am wearing... my sexuality is monsters.
I love that shirt so much.
One of you got it for me.
That one.
I did. I did that. Yes.
That was lyrical.
I feel like I need to get a new version of this, though, that says my sexuality is alien, specifically for this.
Two versions just in case, cover your bases. You don't want to offend the aliens by calling them monsters.
No.
How then would you be able to date them?
That's just inaccurate.
You can't kiss the space crickets if you've made them sad.
I mean, you could, but it won't be as fun.
And it's very rude.
Okay. So, why we use them, why we love them, some more than others.
Fair.
So, first things first, I feel like this is essentially housekeeping here, this part. And that is minority coding, which is either done purposely or accidentally. I know, some people think that, oh, there's no way they could do it on accident. I think you're overestimating people. I really think you do. But, this is true. Monsters have been used as a means to either discuss topics or as a means to kind of, covertly talk about something. Because it's a lot easier to, talk about racism against elves than it is actual racism. Because you kind of don't need to know anything.
The rules are what you make them.
Yeah.
And they're fictional, which makes them safe.
Yeah. And same thing for, queer coding is in here there to, when I say minorities, it's pretty much anything. It's race, queer, disabilities, all that fun stuff that sometimes people want to talk about, and then other times they want to talk about it,
but only if it's comfortable.
Yeah.
Which is like, the Elcor are a good example of that, where it's like, maybe socially you're not the most adept. Maybe you've got some neuroatypical things going on that makes it so your social skills aren't the greatest. Yeah. It's okay. You can relate to saying your emotions in your sentences so people know what you mean. It's one way to put it.
The Elcor are from Mass Effect.
So play Mass Effect.
Yeah, that's what this the title says. Monster Lovers, a discussion of Source. What it really should say is Monster Lovers, go play Mass Effect.
Have I got something for you? Like that's what this is.
BioWare, pay me. But while this is a part of it, I feel like this is the part that like everyone discusses to death. Like, there's several videos on this topic by people more eloquent than me on YouTube. You could probably find, like, essays by people about this. But, if I'm being perfectly honest, it feels like I don't read comics. I read graphic novels. I don't watch cartoons. I enjoy animation. It's that kind of like explanation where it makes you feel like you're not a weirdo. Like, I don't actually want to screw the Fishman in the Shape of Water, okay? I just associate with him on an empathic level because he is symbolically supposed to represent the underclass society, and I relate to that. As a minority myself, I totally haven't gone on, like, AO3 and looked up M-rated fanfictions of that.
No.
But, like, also, don't look at my search history.
And if I did theoretically do this search, it was for science. Goodbye.
It was for science, and it totally wasn't Reader X Fishman.
All I'm saying is that, like, the rest of this isn't as smart as the minority thing, but I feel like it's more authentic. Really, what I'm saying is that you're not better than me because I actually admit I would date the Fishman from Shape of Water.
I'm cool with this. I embrace my Fishman needs.
You know what? I don't think I would have sex with him like the main character did. I think she rushed into that. I think
that was a poorly. I think that was a poor life choice.
She ruined the flooring for like everyone in that apartment. Like
priorities. It's the truth. She owes so much money.
Yeah. Maybe. If she didn't, ending happen.
If that didn't happen.
That's so we're gonna stick with like the more intelligent things here. So first we're gonna go through some writing reasons. So first things first.
First things first.
First things first.
That's the person getting the heck out of Dodge because they don't want to listen to this anymore. They're like, I'm in the wrong panel.
First things first. It's kind of a flex for writers in the way of character. So, when you have a character who looks, really inhuman, you have to work twice as hard for the audience to connect with them. The audience will, like, connect with a human character if they just, like, fit their aesthetic. Look at Tumblr. People are willing to just, like, ignore large portions of the text. I hope to God, like, this didn't stop recording just then. Okay, it didn't. It decided to just, like, stop. Just like, oh,
Just stop
go
showing.
sleep mode.
And you're like, no, you're plugged in.
You're plugged in. Stop that. But so I'm gonna have to keep touching that every now and again. This is what we learn when we do it one way through. But so yeah, so they'll be willing to ignore large chunks of the text if the character meets their, aesthetic draws. Sad but true.
Yeah.
So you have to work twice as hard to get a person to, connect with someone that kind of looks scary. So case in point, I'm going to bring out...
She's probably going to have to lie down after this. Tally
Probably.
doesn't stand super well.
But Tali Zora from Mass Effect. Now, she wears this helmet the entire game. Entire 3 games. And in order to connect with her, to want to do her quests, to want her to have her in your party, to want to even romance her, they had to really get her personality strong, and so strong that you can feel it through the mask. She has no capability to emote other than through vocal inflections. And yet she is one of the most beloved characters in the series.
She's fantastic.
And this isn't just people... This isn't evil people being, like, horny for her. She's, like, a lot of people's daughter or sister.
Yeah.
They just authentically love her to death. Because she has, the, voice actors had to work hard, the writers had to work hard to make her as endearing as possible.
Yep.
For her to work. Let's do another one here is Sidon from Breath of the Wild. He's like piled up on some things. I'm not going to touch him. But he had to be very, very, very appealing for one reason only. He's technically the first, his area is technically the first place you're supposed to go to. Like, I know Breath of the Wild, you're like, oh no, it's open world. I can go anywhere. I can do any of the divine beasts. Yeah, but, like, the game itself kind of knows where you're organically gonna go. And when you're organically gonna go is right to Sidon. But, if you haven't played Breath of the Wild, the area you have to go for Sidon is covered in rain. And when you've started this game, you have no stamina. And rain is the worst. I have quick traveled to different areas later in the game just because it was raining. Because screw that. I'll come back later. I'll do this temple another time. I'm not dealing with the rain. But
that's so authentic to real life, though.
I'll come back later. Disgusting.
But Sidon has a very appealing design, and he is a very loud personality. He has a very comforting personality. He's the kind of person you want to help. And he's designed that way because you're going to be going out of your way, especially if this is, again, you're doing this the correct way. This is your first divine beast. This is your first big task. So you have to really, 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 really want to help Sidon out. Just kind of, backfired a little on Nintendo.
Nintendo, the family-friendly introduction to monster love. What? Nothing? I didn't say that.
He's a very handsome shark man. He is a very handsome shark man, and I love him.
He's a beautiful, handsome shark man, and I will hear nothing else.
Another one for this is Bill Cipher from Gravity Falls. He's designed to be a triangle. That's... Unless you give him a very big personality that's very striking and very, very appealing, people aren't going to care about him. It's a very boring design when you look at it. Like, if you looked at Bill Cipher, no context, you probably wouldn't be like, oh, what's this guy's deal?
Yeah, I would assume he was like a Navi, essentially. Like, just kind of there.
Yeah.
Chocolate
Because of
Dorito
his-
chip.
Yeah.
That's what he is.
But
Don't tell him we said that.
they went hard on his personality. They went hard on his voice acting. So he became very endearing to fans. Again, this backfired on the crew. Went a little too hard. They couldn't course correct.
It's too late now.
Too late. So, another reason is lore creation. So, again, it's kind of like back with the, minority coding, but, like, harder. There's only so far people will, thank you, go when it comes to their suspension of disbelief when it comes to human societies. Like, think about it. Think about every, like, fantasy human society, every sci-fi human society. They're all kind of the same. For lack of a better term, like, they adhere to inherent rules that whatever region of the world that person came from has. Except when it's a monster, when it's a mythical race, when it's an alien race, then people start going outside the box. One of the ones I'll talk about, which sadly, I kind of got him, is the Canary from Dragon Age. So, the Canary are these large, gray-skinned oxmen.
As the Orlesians call
Yes,
them?
yes, exactly. Those little bastards.
But
Oh no! You're gonna have to beat me.
okay.
We're talking about Monster Love, though. Wasn't this like an 18
No.
plus panel?
Nope.
Well, originally it was.
Oh no! Yeah, beat me.
We'll see if I can.
Audio editing, Jack's got you.
Just gonna have like elevator music in the middle, just fine. Anyway.
Okay, anyway. So, the Canary and the Cune are technically both a people and a religion. Many of the people within the Cune are these ox men and women, but not all of them. And not all of the ox men and women are Kunari. But the lore in this in Dragon Age, they don't really have another name for them aside from Kunari because a majority of them are from the Cune.
Yeah. Like if you are Kunari, you would call anyone who isn't Kunari but is an Oxman Talbashoth, but if you are not one of the Oxman Kunari people, you're probably gonna be like, horn, person with horns, they are Kunari.
You are Kunari.
Like, you're not gonna know the terminology. Necessarily.
And the religion is something that is so, like, you could say it's cultish.
You would be correct.
And you would be correct. But it's so beyond cultish.
Yeah.
Like, you couldn't imagine this in a human society. In the first game, you have a character who's a companion whose name is Sten. And you think, oh, that's your name. No, that's his role.
Yeah.
I think it's warrior, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
So,
Sten
yeah.
equals warrior, so his name is Sten. But so are the 5 other Kunari standing next to him who are also warriors. They are all Sten. And if he were no longer a warrior, Sten would no longer be his name.
So you're just standing there like, so what do I call you? And you're like,
Yeah.
Sten.
Your name is your role is your duty, and your duty is your life. And there are people who are in the Canary who would rather die than not serve the Coon.
So, you know, they're a little intense.
They're very intense.
Thank you.
But they're very, very fascinating.
Wicked cool.
They're a very fascinating thing, and you couldn't really do this with humans.
Like, there's too much that's already, like, going on in real life.
Yeah.
For you to, like, really pull that off super easily. It's easier with a fantasy thing.
Yeah. So, another one would be Legion from Mass Effect, who is a robot and is part of the Geth, which is like one of your main opponents in the series. And the Geth is a hive mind of sentient AI, but this is one that's not technically.
Yeah.
It's like they it's a sub routine almost. It's like they subdivided off.
So they're like their own thing, but also not, but also yes.
Yes. They also speak as a hive mind would speak, in that they use we, us. So, like, instead of I think this is a bad idea, it's we think this is a bad idea, even though Legion is completely separate from the hive mind at this point.
Yeah.
Which, again, this is a very fascinating lore kind of thing that you cannot do with a human character.
Like, brainwashing is probably the closest you could get.
It's the closest, but it's also...
It's not the same.
It's not the same in any capacity.
Because, like, any hive mind is usually considered a negative thing from a human perspective, but for Legion it's just like Tuesday?
Yeah.
We don't have any Legion stuff, sadly. I will fix that literally right now, this very second.
So, another reason that So now we're getting into the fun parts. So, another reason is wish fulfillment. So, we're going back to Mass Effect.
Fulfill your wishes, play Mass
And
Effect.
here are Asari. Now, the Asari are a bigender race comprised of what is primarily female. Like, they associate themselves very much with the feminine because they are able to reproduce with any species in any way, shape, or form. So, because, you know, bearing children's a big part of it. That's why, like, motherhood is such a big... But, like, if they chose to be masculine, they could. We're not going to get super into that.
I mean, if you had two Asari, like, just
yeah.
hypothetically,
if you have two Asari,
one would be the father and one would be the mother.
Yeah. One decides to be the one that receives the genetic material, and the other one is the one that gives the genetic material. That's how the Asari operate.
And that's, yeah.
They're not being weird, that's how they operate.
That's how they operate. But, so, again, they are able to do that with any outside species. So, let's hypothetical here for a minute that you're a person who has that desire to want to have children with their partner of choice. But because of whatever circumstances, they are unable to do so in a biological sense. The Asari would be a very comforting idea for them. It's a very comforting kind of fantasy to think, you know, in this situation, I could have a biological child with the person I love. No matter what. Because they literally have mind sex. I don't think there's actually any penetration.
No.
Don't you dare, Kat. Don't you dare.
He's gonna
screw this up.
I'm gonna ruin your whole life.
Yep.
Your setup, this thing that you lovingly put together, yeah, I'm gonna wreck it.
So there's that. Another one would be like the dwarfs in Rat Queens. They literally see a full beard as the pinnacle of beauty. No matter what. So if you're someone who has, very strong facial hair and it kind of upsets you at times, it's kind of a sore point.
Yeah.
This is a very nice fantasy. In this world, you will be considered the pinnacle of beauty for something that you don't consider very beautiful about yourself. Maybe. I don't know. We're talking hypotheticals here.
Yeah.
But the wish fulfillment aspect of monsters is limitless. Because their society is not dependent on our society necessarily if you're a good writer.
Throwing only a little shade.
I'm throwing only a little shade.
Just a tiny little scotch shade.
But, yeah. Oh, I had a good joke earlier. Well, I'm past it now. Next time I do this panel. I forgot it.
This will remind you.
This will remind me. So, another reason why is it's a safe kind of fantasy. What I mean by that is that there is not a person alive who can ruin any of these characters for me. It's impossible. The closest you could do is like, oh, the voice actor's not very nice. It's like, well, I'm not really here for the voice.
Like shame on the VA. Anyway.
It's nice. It's a nice addition, but I'm not really here for it.
I didn't come to space to kiss humans.
Yeah.
To quote a friend.
You're gonna have to show that friend this.
Yes.
But a monster love interest for someone who's interested in them is kind of like a dream house. And when I say a dream house, I don't mean like, oh, that house I passed by is really great, I really love it, it's dream house. What I mean is you have this idea in your head of this like insane house that like feasibly could not exist. We're talking like several spiral towers, a giant glass greenhouse in the back.
Elevators that go horizontal and
yeah,
vertical.
Yeah.
Like, just, you don't have to follow the rules of anything.
We're talking just like an insane dream house. And the reason you have that dream house, and you might take aspects of it and adhere it to your house hunting, but you have that dream house because you can never be let down. As compared to like if you pass by this house every day on your way to work and it's gorgeous and you love it and you see that it's for sale and you think, oh my god, maybe I can have it. And then you look at the listing price and you go, nope, that dream's dead in the water. And you're a little disappointed. You realize, I can never have that. That can't be mine. But that dream house in my head, that's always going to be mine.
Can't take it from me.
You can't take these from me. It's not like, it's like when people get disappointed when a celebrity starts dating someone or marries someone that they had a crush on.
It's like
they get disappointed.
Yeah.
Even though they know they can't. Like, this isn't gonna happen, but in their head, they're like, maybe feasibly sometime.
You're like, psych.
And, like, yeah, you can say the same about just, like, fictional characters who are human or 2D characters who are human. But you could feasibly meet someone who kind of looks like that person, and maybe they're just a colossal douche.
Could be.
And that kind of ruins it for you a little.
Stupid reality.
I mean, this is why, like, a lot of early crushes are on cartoon characters or, again, celebrities. It's because, like, they're safe. There's no chance. So you can just fantasize as you will. As you would like. I might end up circling back on some things. So, here's another one. That was a better fantasy. So, I remember a while back, I want to say like late 90s, early 2000s, there was a boom of rom-com type movies where it was like you were taking like a socially like unattractive girl and pair her off with a guy who didn't mind.
And you're like, that's a thing.
Yeah, it's attractive. It was always like these big grand statements where it's like, I don't care what you look like. And it's like, wow, that's flattering.
It's not even like, you know, I think you're beautiful. It's like, I don't care that you look like a foot. Why are you leaving?
Oh my god, did you hear, like, in Ready Player One, like, this girl just has, like, a scar, and he's like, I don't care that you have a scar. And it's like, oh, thanks.
That wasn't the thing I was upset about, but now I am.
Well, no, she was upset about it, but it was like...
Not the thing to actually
Yeah, it's not... But, well, those things, I guess, can be flattering to people, I guess. It will never beat out... Thane... Sad Daddy Krios.
Thane is the best.
It's the Thane Sad Tragic Daddy Krios. Who says to Shepard, who's being romanced, I have never once been attracted to someone outside of my own species before. Shepard is that amazing.
Don't you want to play as Shepard? Of course you do. You can kiss Thane.
You can kiss Thane and then be sad.
And hallucinate for a little.
Yeah, okay. Here's an even better fantasy. His spit literally gets you high.
MVD.
That's canon to the game. His kisses make you high. You can literally get drunk off of him.
It's a thing you can do.
Yeah. And it also doesn't beat out Garrus Ride or Die Vicarian.
Oh my god, Garrus.
Who literally has no idea how to flirt with Shepard. And states verbatim,
Oh my god, yes.
if you were a Turian, I'd be complimenting your fringe right now. Or your waistline. So, I guess...
Your hips.
Your hips.
Yes.
So, I guess your hair is nice, and your waist looks supportive. He has no idea what makes a human attractive, but he loves Shepard so much he does not care.
He's so cute. And you know, you don't have to worry about him hooking up with anyone else because that wouldn't have been attractive if you were Tyrion. Like, your fringe is nice and your hips look supportive. Like, I don't think
he literally gets like, you have like there's one DLC where he gets to hit on another Turian woman.
Yes, so bad.
He fails so hard unless Shepard helps him.
It is so bad.
It's so great.
I love him very much.
Can you tell? You're missing out if you're not playing Mass Effect and you're watching this panel.
Especially with the remake. Like, if you were like, I want to wait till they re-release it in pretty, they've released it in pretty.
They've released it in pretty. With all the DLC. So you get the one where Garrus dances as Shepard.
And it's the cutest.
She's just gonna... Yep.
Sam's melting down.
I like that your tone just continues to get higher the more excited you are.
You know what's really sad is that, like, it won't happen if I talk about any actual human character.
No. Sorry, humans. You're yesterday's news.
But, yeah, like, it's a better fantasy. Like, think about that. What's better than someone, you know, looking past the things that society says is unattractive, or, you know, actually being attracted to it. I lost my train of thought there for a second. This is actually a real panel.
Yeah.
I
think you were going for, like,
what's better than that?
He doesn't know what humans are attractive or not. He doesn't know.
They don't know. Monsters don't know. They can't. But they find you so appealing on an emotional level that they don't care, that they're gonna risk anything. Tali risks being dead for Shepard.
So does Garrus.
Yeah.
Garrus and Tali are biologically compatible species, but humans, Turians, and humans and Quarians are not.
Yeah.
And like Quarians wear those helmets for a reason.
They can't even eat the same foods.
Yeah.
Like wearing the helmet.
Oh god, I love Mass Effect for that though. I love that little detail. That like they can't all eat the same foods.
And you actually have a Solarian doctor that when you're in a romance with these characters will take you to the side and be like, hey,
this is my boy.
These are
I love him.
These are the dangers of dating this particular species. Maybe avoid these certain things.
He's like, I know how humans can be.
He literally
do not zap that.
You do not.
He literally says to Shepard, if she's romancing Garrus, do not ingest.
How is this not 18 plus?
I haven't technically said anything.
I'm just...
We are implying...
Implications are okay.
Okay.
Next time, just say
next
like
time,
custard.
When it's in person, it'll 100% be 18 plus.
Yeah.
Portcon 2022. Portcon 2022. This will be 18 plus.
Yes. Looks like you'll have to go to Portcon again. Oh no.
Oh no. Portcon's so terrible.
So sad.
Such a bad con.
We love Portcon. Go to Portcon. You're already going to Portcon. Anyway.
Yeah.
Physically go to Portcon.
Physically go to Portcon.
Next year.
This year.
Or this year. I don't care. Anyway.
After we're not in a panini.
Stupid.
So the last thing we have to talk about is, of course, what we've kind of been talking about here. That is kink. And if, again, you for some reason have gone through this panel and thought people are just lying when they say they're attracted to monsters, you're being hyperbolic. You're just playing this up. Don't ever look up Mass Effect on Etsy.
Nope.
Specifically, don't look up Garrus Vicarian or Thane Krios.
Or Legion. Or anyone.
Or Legion.
I'm not kidding.
On Etsy. And now that I've said this, you're gonna do that.
And I'm sorry.
I'm very sorry.
You're either gonna be horrified or laugh your butt off. One or the other.
Or, be out like $80. We're not here to judge you.
Yeah.
Or be incredibly disappointed that they didn't take, some certain liberties with names for products. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Very disappointed.
I'm here for the puns.
If you know, you know. But, like... But here's a nicer story. So, like, while Dragon Age Inquisition was being developed, a character was added to the party who was a Canary named the Iron Bull. And one of the people who was working on it took concept art home and he showed it to his wife. And his wife, upon seeing this giant man with giant bull horns said, "He's romanceable, right?" Up until that point, no one on the Debs team had considered.
I'm waiting for him to be like, my wife's a genius.
Pretty much. It's like, thank you, wife of BioWare employee, who said, "I want to climb that."
You have saved us all.
Thank you.
We're all very happy.
Thank you for letting us have one of the best romances in Dragon Age. It's so fun. It's not sad or tragic in any way. It's just so much fun.
It's just pure ridiculous. Like, I just love it. And, like, even when he ends up in a romance with someone else, if you don't romance him, his romance is still fun.
It is so much fun.
Like, he's in love with someone else, and you're still like, woo! Like,
not only is he in love with someone else, he's in love with someone, and they're like,
they're all suddenly
their nations are like constantly fighting each other.
And then they were
So
like,
they're like freaking Romeo and Juliet. But men.
Just two men being like, our nations are at war, want to kiss? Like, that's what's happening now.
That's basically how he propositioned him, though.
It really is. I love
If you think this, like, this video panel is nuts, the actual IRL one that I do will be even worse because, like, I will have a slideshow of my, my monster crushes that do not also involve some of these, but also don't.
it. There'll be some new.
And I'll
new
just
faces.
have to, like, explain myself.
Like me justifying.
I'm
my
gonna
taste in
justify
monsters
myself.
to a room full of strangers.
Room full of strangers so you can laugh at me. Because I know people, like, people don't really want to laugh at themselves, but I'll do it.
You're like,
I'll be the butt of a joke.
Like, I don't mind.
I don't mind in the least. But, you know, it's also like... but again, another example of the kink thing is the Venom movie. If you... there was a large uptick in interest in the Venom movie the second the trailer dropped. And it wasn't for the right reasons.
It was a thing.
It was a thing. And I'm very excited for Venom too.
He makes him breakfast.
He makes him breakfast.
It's so domestic. And
Venom
the
is trying his best.
And it's adorable.
best part, though, Carnage is Venom's child.
I don't know how they're gonna do it though.
I don't know how they're gonna do it, but I
Yeah.
really, like, they made it, like, in the comic books, they at least made it so, like, it was kind of like a weird pregnancy thing.
Yeah.
Like with the symbiote,
If
and
anyone-
then, like, Eddie Brock being the worried, like, father in the room, like, I'm gonna faint, this is gross. Slime giving birth to more slime, I'm so not with this.
I want to, like, point it out to anyone who's not in the know of comics, but, Venom X Eddie is kind of canon.
Kind of, like...
It's kind of canon depending on who's writing it.
It's kind of very canon.
It's kind of very canon. For certain writers, and for other writers, they like to ignore it, and then, like, a new writer will come on and go back on, will double down twice as hard.
A new writer comes in and is like, cowards! And
Yeah.
like, just...
I think I own the run where it was like, you're all just cowards.
Yeah, you do.
I do.
Where
Like,
they,
what other run is there to own?
it,
Really? Nope, don't answer
there's
it.
a couple.
Don't answer it.
But, you know, again, if you have any kink you have, any monster can, oh damn, I'm gonna have to make another pun here, fill it. No matter how specific. I think, Interspecies Reviewers proves that point. Which I did actually kind of like that series as a manga. I think the anime went a little too hard. Obviously, they pulled it because it was essentially hentai. But you can get really creative. But you don't have to love monsters in the romantic sense or even the sexual sense to love monsters. I mean, I'm freaking asexual. I just love the crap out of them. Although, I'm gonna be honest, if I had to choose between, like, a monster and a human, I'd probably pick a monster. Because at least I don't know what's coming. Damn it!
We're just gonna, yakety sax elevator music over that. It's fine.
I'm just imagining.
Nope, keep it in, because I make that joke in, if this were live, and I stupidly made it PG.
No, I'm not making any. I'm just imagining the elevator music. Literally, that's where my brain was at. Was just like Sam's lips moving, elevator music, and then just shocked silence and laughing, and nobody knows what's happening.
But look, this character is Grunt.
He is son.
Yes, he is the Phantom's collective son. He is a giant lizard man in Mass Effect, and he is child. He is baby.
Like, lizard, turtle, warrior, murder man.
Yeah.
Love him.
People, like, in-game, people run terrified because you have a Krogan with you.
And then you're like, that's my son.
That's my son!
That's right, you run. You're making him happy.
You're making him very happy. He likes to chase. He likes to chase you down and then kill you.
Give you a little bit of a challenge first. That's a thing for them.
Gives you some hope. And then he takes it away. Because he is the perfect Krogan. And he is the perfect son.
Yes.
But, like, the Phantom, like, again, collectively loves this giant thing. And just wants to hug it.
Yep.
You've created, you've perfected this character's personality to the point where it does not matter that this character dwarfs yours by a good foot all around.
And could easily crush you like a grape.
Yep.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Monster love interests exist because we are a little limited in how we express things and in our understanding of things. And monsters allow us to explore new ideas, new personalities, new religions, new places. And sometimes you'll find, like, characters that you never thought you would like. If, like, someone described them to you. Like, if they were a human, you'd probably be like, oh, they're kind of boring.
Yeah, you're like, take it or leave it.
Yeah. But as a monster, there's now a new layer. You have a newness to them. Take any stock romance novel. Replace the main love interest with, I don't know, an orc. It is instantly more interesting.
Oh yeah, already you're having to talk about, like, well, kissing's gonna be a thing.
Yeah.
'Cause tusks.
What's their society like? What is it that they value?
Like, is the fact that the orc is probably way taller than you, like, does that make you cute? Are you cute to them because you're, like, this short little thing? I don't know, like, it could be anything.
Yeah. Even if the orc has the same personality as those stock romance characters.
You're like, that's cute.
It's instantly new. It's interesting. it's adding a new flavor. It's like you just experienced cinnamon for the first time. You're like, oh my god, this sugar cookie is amazing. What is this flavoring on it? Oh, cinnamon? I've never had that before.
Like, that's cool. A cool take on a thing I thought I knew and was, like, neutral on.
Yeah. Like, the Ancient Mage's Bride would be instantly less engaging if Elias looked like a human.
Yeah. Because then he would just be, like, your standard, like, mystical gentleman.
Yeah. Yeah. The fact that he doesn't. The fact that he looks like something that has been around for eons instantly makes him, like, more interesting, more understandable in a way. Like, nothing is worse than a boring vampire.
No, come on, how did you do that?
People have done that.
They have. You know, my heart's not ready to talk about it.
But monsters can give you an area that's safe to explore ideas that you didn't know you had, feelings you didn't know you had.
It's like they can reject you, they're fictional.
Yeah, they're fictional. They can't hurt you.
Explore away!
Explore. You can't be hurt. They're not real. Sadly.
It is a pro and a con.
It is a pro and a con.
Thane, where are you?
I'm sure there's, like, some, like, really depressed dad who... really depressed, widowed dad with, like, an adult son who's got, like, years left to live.
Not as many as he would like.
Yeah, I'm sure there is that story out there. But it's not as good because it doesn't involve this. FYI, the designers at BioWare made him specifically to be appealing to women.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
As a woman. Nailed it.
They stated that. They're like, oh yeah, we want to make him as appealing to women as possible.
Would kiss this space amphibian. Well before I would kiss a
Emotionally,
human man.
design-wise, he's perfect. So is Garrus. They didn't intend for Garrus, though. They didn't realize. Him and Tally are not romanceable in the first game because they didn't realize.
They were like, we've given you these beautiful options, and then every single fan pointed to the cricket man and went, that one.
And they were
It's
like,
but Caden
That
is so
one.
handsome.
Caden is a stupid, sad sponge. I want that one.
Caden thinks me saying hi is me flirting with him.
Oh my god, romance in the first game is just like, it's just...
Romance in the first game is bad. Don't do it. Just wait for 2. Anyway.
Unless you're going for Liara, then it's just ridiculously easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
can also say hi to her, and she's like, hi, and you're like, that's it.
That's it. That's where we are.
It's the romance.
Want to talk about history?
Anyway.
I love you, Tally.
I
mean, also Liara, but, you know, here we are. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Oops.
But, I hope this was entertaining and maybe a little informative, and hopefully some of you have decided to pick up Mass Effect Legendary Edition.
Buy
Buy it, so EA thinks it's valuable, and we get more Mass Effect.
Yes! They owe me a follow-up to Andromeda.
Yeah.
They owe me.
They really do. They left so many strings just dangling in the wind.
It's like, do I look
Not
like a
even
cat
a
to you?
DLC. Not even a DLC to tie it up. Ugh.
It's like a bad breakup.
So, I hope you enjoyed it. I don't know how these things are being, like, laid out, but if you haven't seen Lyrical Villains panel or Jan Bluth's panel, do that. Anyway, thank you for watching this until the end. I hope you have a good one.